floor. All right. Hey, everybody. Happy Tuesday, December 12th. Welcome to the TED Show. We are on episode 75. What a blessing to be here. And I am with my friend, the amazingly talented Shanta Barton-Stubbs.
Thank you.
Welcome. I had to ask. Sometimes, I don't know how to pronounce everybody's name. So Shannon's on. If you guys can let me know that you can see us. I know that you're going to say, Ted, you've got too much head in there. I'm sorry. I'm trying to work without my producer, Charnel. She's been gone for a while, so just bear with me and bear with us. But you look beautiful. We've got great lighting. Bob Moylan, what's hot? This is what's hot, Bob Moylan, the TED Show with Shanta Barton-Stubbs. All right, so let us know that you can hear us. Welcome.
Thank you.
We met, I'll just give a little, and you probably don't remember, you actually did a presentation for a group that I'm in, Women's Council of Realtors.
Yes.
Because I'm a loan officer. I have to say that every once in a while for the show because nobody remembers what I do. And we presented a check. We raised, one of our fundraisers was for New Images Youth Center.
Yes,
so give us a little bit of background. Thank you again for coming and agreeing to put up with my craziness for the last half hour at least.
I was excited about this.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Oh my God, I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you.
All right, so to give them a little background on you.
So, my name is Shanta Barton-Stubbs. I am most known for my philanthropy work. And I started this little place called the New Image Youth Center, a.k.a. The Good in the Hood. The
Good in the Hood. We're going to hashtag that later, right?
And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that. But so my philanthropy work is New Image Youth Center. By career, I'm a licensed therapist, mental health. And I work with different agencies in the area. I have my own company called Under Construction Empowerment Services because we are always under construction.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
That's awesome.
So I'm a writer. I've wrote a few books, things just in my free time to kind of have a little fun. But besides that, I'm a home girl. I tell everybody I was born to serve. I am happy living my life because I am living a life of serving others.
You have a servant's heart.
I do.
I love that.
I do.
And now how did that come about? You didn't all of a sudden wake up and you were Dr. Shanta Barton-Stubbs.
No, let me tell you.
Give us the history.
I ran from it. So my parents are pastors. And so they've always given. That's all we've ever done. So I decided at a very young age I was not going to be in ministry. Neither was I going to work with children. And then I recognized that God has a sense of humor. And everything that I said that I was not going to do, guess what? I'm doing it. But my father moved this church from Winter Park to the Paramore community back in 2004. And that transition was something that I can't even put into words. This is when Paramore was the struggling part of Paramore.
Correct.
This is when no one was there, no one was doing much. Definitely, it was considered one of the 25 worst neighborhoods in the world. That's crazy. And so my dad moved this church from Winter Park, with the pretty flowers, really nice people,
parishioners with a lot of cash,
nice buildings.
Yeah.
And then he said, I'm going to Paramore, and I was like, what? And it was a culture shock. I remember just having a hard time having that transition, but it was that transition that actually changed my life. One day I was outside helping my dad clean up. There were some kids who were playing in the street, and they were playing with a grocery basket. Now, we all know, even to this day, there's no grocery store in Paramore. But the kids were in this grocery basket, and they were pushing it in the middle of the street, and the cars would come, and they would swerve from trying to hit the kids.
Wow.
And before I knew it, I just said, hey, what are you doing? One of the little boys came over, Ted, and cursed me out like you would never believe.
I was not expecting that part
I
of the story.
remember saying to myself, okay, Dorothy, you're not in Kansas anymore. So
you're in Paramore
at the time,
now.
I'm in Paramore. So I was 21 years old, trying to find out my why, my destiny, my purpose. I was in school. I was a sophomore in college, and I was actually in a criminal justice program because I just knew I was born to be two things: a SWAT team member.
A SWAT team member.
A SWAT team member.
All right.
And a Hollywood star.
Well, I mean, come on. Where's the fashion part of that? There you go.
And so what happened was I was saving money, And when those kids came over, the little boy cussed me out. I invited them inside my dad's church. The only thing we had at the time was a game of Monopoly. And this building now that we have, I'm talking about mold infested, was actually considered condemned. But we came inside, played that one game of Monopoly. That was it. The day was over. My dad called the next day and said, hey, you know those kids that you were playing with, they're back. And I was like, that is just so weird.
Wow.
They're back, and they brought more friends along with them. So we began to play again, and they came every day that summer. And that was 2004. And that is the beginning of the
Can you
New
imagine
Image
the
Center.
impact, if you haven't thought of it? Sorry, guys, I've got allergies so bad. The impact that you had on their lives. I mean, that's a testimony to God intervening for sure, and going, oh yeah, you have a plan, but I've got a bigger plan for you.
I have a bigger plan. And I tell people all the time that it was the very thing that I was running from that was actually part of my destiny, my purpose, my reason why. In my mind, my reason why was, it was going to be handed to me on a silver platter and everything was going to work out perfect. I didn't know that my reason why was going to take obstacles and have hard days and days where you wanted to give up.
Right.
But definitely this has been the journey that I would not trade for the world. And I'm constantly telling people all the time that New Image Youth Center, it's not just me, it's a whole group, a whole village of people that makes it happen for all of us. But I started with those 8 students, and now we are serving 100 a year.
So that's where that was the catalyst for, or part of the catalyst for New Image Youth Center. Tell them about that. Tell them more about it, because we posted some of it, but give them what New Image Youth Center. Man, it's a Tuesday. Hey Jen. Hey guys, thanks for coming on. Tell them more about it, because I know about it because of, well, first of all, you have a fantastic reputation in town, and New Image Youth Centers.
NIYC.
Gosh,
NIYC.
Okay, good. That has an amazing reputation in town for doing some great, amazing work, and I mean that. So we have about $3.35 for R&D on this show, so I did a little bit of research.
Okay.
So give them an idea of what services are provided, what you're trying to accomplish.
So from the first day, my whole goal, so I was raised with 2 parents. I have a stepfather and a mom. But my father is my world. My mom is amazing. And to this day, I'm in my mid-30s, and they're still so very supportive. So I began to pay attention to what was important for me, and, how was I steered in the way that I was raised, and it was my parents. And so I wanted to create a family-like environment, and that's what New Image is all about. Anytime that you come, you will be able to recognize that this is a family. This is not just a place you come hang out. This is a family unit. So we're paying attention to how they're dressed, what's going on in their homes, what's really taking place. And our whole goal has always been to expose our youth to life outside of the Paramore community, so that their brains begin to work. Their brains begin to say, you know what, I can do this. And then we help them with the resources to reach their dreams. And so we've been in business for 13 years now.
Wow, I did not know that.
Tell me about it. So I was 21, a little tenderoni.
I can't believe you're in your mid-30s. I thought you were in your 20s. That's when you said doctor, I was like, oh, wow.
The kids keep me young, but I can tell you that 13 years of business, we have 22 high school graduates. We have 11 who are in college.
That's amazing.
We have 5 seniors this year. We've had only 2 to be in trouble with the law, and that's because we've created that family-like environment. And so we provide programs for our kids that they normally would not have the opportunity to be a part of. We have piano. We have a community garden. We have cooking classes, and we cook items from the community garden. We have dance. We have step. We have yoga. We have life skills, and we have counseling. And most recently, for the last year, we've been concentrating on the crisis intervention department, because there are so many issues that we can't talk about on Facebook that are taking place in the lives of our youth, but we do not want them to be by themselves.
Right.
And so we're constantly there to aid in any way possible. We're at the school events, we're at the games, and what makes us so different is the fact that it is a family-like unit, and our children are never by themselves.
I think that's so critical, because what happens is the kids have a lot of alone time.
Yeah.
And then the other kids who have a lot of alone time that are maybe more troublesome. It's very easy to get into that when you have nothing else to do, or you have nothing else going on, or nobody monitoring you.
When you're in a neighborhood such as Paramore.
Right.
And so this is how the book came about. So we have a book called There's Good in My Hood. And actually December 10th made 1 year since we introduced the book to the world. We're so excited about it. Thank you. Awesome. But it's so exciting because the kids helped us write the book. It's a project that we've worked on for years, staff members, volunteers, and it's constantly to remind our kids that no matter what, you too can be the good in your hood. So constantly think about that. Before you act, think about it. You know what? I'm part of the good, so I can't do that. I'm part of the good, so I have to represent. I'm part of the good. So that says no matter what your atmosphere or your community looks like, or what's even taking place at home, you are the good in your hood. And so that's what we believe. Is very catchy. The kids get it. The kids are constantly bragging about it. I'm the good in the hood. So instead of saying New Image Youth Center, a lot of the kids say, I go to the good in the hood.
I love that, because I think what you're doing is you're empowering them to think differently.
Yes.
You're empowering them to go, I'm not a victim of what's going on, or I'm not defined by my surroundings.
That's true.
I can actually make a difference. I can be the good.
Yes.
I love that, because
it's actually an affirmation.
I love it. It is an affirmation. You've got some people, some fans that are saying some things to you that I want to read. Dave Frazier came on, and so did Eileen Winfrey. She actually got the acronym right, by the way. Hold on, let's see if I can. Eileen says, her thing will come up. We're a little bit behind, but I saw it, guys. Oh yeah, Dave Frazier, love your cause, and you too, Ted, thanks. Plus, love my Orlando City parking, Shante. Dave Frazier, I don't know what that means, but I'm sure he's got something.
Yes, and he has supported, he's with Keller Williams.
Yes, he is.
And so Keller Williams came back in 2015, I think, and they redone our entire playground.
Oh,
so
that's
let me
awesome.
tell you about this,
Tell
because
me.
people don't understand that when you're in not-for-profit work, it's so hard. There are days that things seem amazing. Then there's days where you're crying your eyes out in the bathroom. You have to wipe, whatever running makeup, and you have to act like everything is good for the kids because you don't dare want them to see that.
Sure.
And so we had a playground that was so outdated, and I didn't know how bad it was until Keller Williams came and literally pushed it, and the whole thing crumbled over. But this is the playground that the kids have been playing on for years, so we constantly said that angels were holding this playground up until we got a new one.
That.
And so to this day, we have that playground now, and it was donated by Keller Williams. They raised money.
David, what a great story. I love that. Oh, they did a Red Day there.
Red Day, and
That's
they're
awesome.
Constantly supporting us. So we're
amazing.
grateful to, again, it's part of the village. They're part of the family.
Because we were talking about how there are so many needs outside of just writing a check.
Yeah.
There are so many things that you can do and make an impact.
That's true.
And you were telling me some of the things, and give them some ideas. So you talked about piano, you talked about the garden. I mean, the kids are coming there, and it's not just a rec center where you're playing, hanging out playing ping pong or basketball.
We're staying busy.
You're staying, which is so critical, and busy in a good way, in a way to expand their minds.
Exactly.
So how does that look on a daily basis? How many kids do you have that come in on a daily basis?
So we have about 50 that comes every day.
Wow.
We're there to make sure that they're able to serve. We serve dinner before they leave. Depending on the day, depends on what program we have. But I'm constantly telling people, yes, of course we need monetary donations, but guess what? There's so much more. Even having the opportunity of coming and to share your career with the youth is amazing, because you're exposing our youth to things that they're normally not used to hearing.
Sure.
So you ask them what do they want to be when they grow up. Of course, it's the NBA stars, it's the football stars, and then there's the teachers, and there's the police officers, and then there's the lawyers. But then we have amazing engineers come in, or we have realtors come in, and we have business entrepreneurs come in. And so the kids are able to hear that there are so many other opportunities out there, and then they begin to work on that. So not just that, but even used items, household items, clothing items, old furniture. We tell people all the time, don't give it away, don't just throw it out. We always have families that we can help, and when we're not able to use it at the youth center, we're able to help the community with it.
I love that.
Because our youth now, as much as you give to us, our youth always have to give back.
I love that.
And so we have a team called the Give Team, and that's what the Give Team is always, that's what our motto is no matter how little you have, you always have something to give.
So you're instilling the philanthropy spirit in them.
Yes, so
I
once a quarter, the kids give back to the community, whether it's cookies, whether it's coffee, whether it's a big spread dinner, and they actually serve the community. So
I love that.
Yeah.
I think and these are the kinds of things. So people always ask me, how in the world do you do this every day? This is the motivator.
Yeah.
People like Shantae and her program. There's so many people that don't know, and you can't be all things to all people all the time.
That's true.
So we have to give them the exposure that they need in order to get some of these people to come in. Misty Capinis said, "Hey, Misty, love the idea of sharing careers." I mean, who would have thought that that's something somebody could go in and do?
Yes.
It's not Parents' Day. You're going in and you're sharing. It's kind of like the teach-in that Orange County does.
That's exactly what it is.
And how awesome to do that, because what did you tell me? I love this story, so I'm going to kind of paraphrase it. You can go.
Okay.
So earlier, Shantae said, well, I wanted to be a SWAT member and a Hollywood star.
Yeah.
I love that, because you could be, but I love the fact that you thought you could be both. Don't you want to embolden them and empower them to think, I can do whatever I want to do?
I can do whatever I want to do. And guess what? Because although that was my goal and my mission of what I thought I wanted to personally do, there are days where I actually felt like I was a SWAT team member in Paramore. And then there's been days, I have to admit, that the resources and the things that come to us at times, I'm just so grateful that someone has believed in the mission to even want to give us the opportunity. Back in 2011, I was honored as one of the 25 Women of Worth by L'Oreal. And I had an airplane to come get me, and I was treated like I was a Hollywood star. So I tell people all the time, listen, whatever it is that you want to do, if you begin to help others, then whatever you need will begin to find you.
Don't you think that's one of the secrets? I talk about this all. I believe this 100%. If you focus on the money, or you focus on that, anything related to that, that is just not the right place to be. No. If you focus on the service and you focus on what you're doing for other people, it's going to come back 100 million fold. You can't. I swear you can't make that up. I know. And you've written books about I love the book titles that you wrote, because I know that comes from a passion, a place in your heart, and you've experienced it. This isn't some instructional book that you're telling them how to do it and you've never really done it. You've experienced
it. And I'm all about real life. We have enough actors and actresses.
That is true.
So although I wanted to be a Hollywood star,
you still are. Look at you. You're on the TED show.
I'm on the
How much
TED
more of a
show,
Hollywood star can you be?
Tell
My
me
friends are
about
going to kill me for saying that.
But I have really, really focused on trying to be real, trying to be authentic, number one, because I have 100 little ones looking at me.
Absolutely.
So my life is the example. So you don't see me, what I'm doing now is what you'll see me doing 12 o'clock tonight. And I tell people all the time that my life is who I say I am. And so the books, There's Good in My Hood, the children's illustrated book. It's all about telling about a story of a little boy who was in a neighborhood looking for something good. In the middle of all of this mess, he was looking for something good. And then I have those who are constantly asking, how can I start a not-for-profit? And so I have the other ones. So you think you want to start a not-for-profit? Let's do some homework first.
Right.
Because I'm constantly telling people that there's other things that you might be able to do as you're learning before you jump into the not-for-profit
because
sector.
Not-for-profit, I think a lot of people think, oh, I could form a 501c3. Actually, people don't even know what a 501c3 is. So there are so many steps to it. It's not that easy. So why not volunteer at some places that are already established, that have your interest or your passion, and then see what is missing, or if nothing's missing, replicate it, or instead work with them and try to build their program and grow it and expand it.
Exactly.
We have a lot of, and I'm not discouraging 501c3s or nonprofits, but we have so many in Orlando alone, don't even go to the other counties, Orlando, that are not able to meet the requirements of the services that they're providing. It's always crisis management. There's always a fire to put out. And there are so many places that you can donate your time, your talent. I don't even say about the check. Yes, they need that, but they need the time and the talent too to accomplish things. So I think that is such a great thing that you're doing. You're empowering them at an early age to really get involved in their. Oh, we love you too. Tony Crabtree's on.
Oh, I love you, Tony.
She's awesome. And Bill Moore just popped in. Hey, Bill. Bill's the one I was telling you about, who had my only controversial show, quote unquote, a while back. But I love that because I think that's something we miss. There are hours that the kids do in high school, like my kids had to do community service hours, but that wasn't necessarily something that they chose. They were told to do. So you are allowing them to find a passion, to figure out different things, and I think that's so critical. I think we're missing that.
Right.
So what's the next step for New Image Youth Center?
Well, you know,
I got it.
You did. I just wanted to piggyback a little bit off of what you said. And so what we have to understand in poverty-stricken neighborhoods, although at times they receive a lot of help, there's a lot of strong sense of entitlement. And so what our whole goal is to break that spirit of entitlement, to say no. When people give us, or when people look out for us, or when people are donating, they are doing this out of the goodness of their heart.
I love that.
And so how do we give back to this? We do good unto somebody. And so that's why it's so important for us. And the next thing, I'm not sure what the next thing is. So we're in the middle of, we're right by the new stadium.
Yes.
And so we
and
love
the new
Orlando
police
City
station,
Soccer.
right? Like
we're right down the
everything's
street.
right, and West Art District's right around there.
Right around. We're in the middle of everything. We've been there for 13 years, but we do not own our buildings, and so we know eventually we have to move. We're not sure exactly what that looks like yet, so that does bring a little fear into the picture. But we've known that we've been able to stand, and that something will happen. Just know that the faith game that I have,
Understood.
Ted, is very strong.
Yes.
So we're looking for that. But right now, being able to focus more on our programs, understanding that as much good as we're doing, there are a lot of things that are taking place behind the scenes that we want to make sure that our kids are taken care of.
Are there immediate needs?
We have immediate needs, and we have several. So just so you know, out of our 100 students, a quarter of our students right now are homeless, are in transition, are living in hotels. No. And I don't think that people understand how real this is, because there's times when they have an hour to pay the bill or they're out. And we're talking about families with 2, 3, 4, 5 kids. And so, you know, we have immediate needs for Christmas. We're needing assistance in helping taking care of some of the hotel bills, or if anyone knows a hotel that's willing to work with us. We're also looking for new speakers for the new year. If you're excited, if you want to start the year off right and want to be able to give back in some way, please reach out. Or maybe you have a gift or a skill that you've been sitting on, and now is your time to share this gift with the world. Maybe you're a dancer, maybe you're a tap dancer, maybe you do poems, maybe you're a writer.
Pardon me.
Whatever it may be, I always tell people, if you're wanting to share that with an amazing group of youth, then guess what? You have the right group right here in front of you.
So Misty Cabanis, you said it, the idea of sharing career, I think that's so important.
Yeah, it is.
Because if you don't, like the grocery store part's killing me, hold on. Because that's still such an issue. So the fact that there's a garden, like if you're a great gardener, I mean, think outside the box. Find what's your passion? Singer, piano player.
Sure.
They'll believe me. There are children there that don't understand what that is yet. But the minute that you expose them to it, it's as if the sunlight came down, and it's a whole new world, because they may not have known that that's their passion or what they're interested in. That's so don't think that your talent, it can't be used, and you want to give back. These kids are thirsty and hungry for what you have to offer, and what an amazing thing to be able to provide them.
Yeah.
So you were amazing. We're at 25.
Okay.
So talk a little bit, any parting words for them? Anything you want to leave them with? We're obviously going to post all sorts of stuff after, but give them something, since I'm wheezing and in the middle of a coughing fit.
You know, I was talking a little bit about my Hollywood desires and things, but back in 2009, I won the title Miss Corporate America.
You did.
2009, I did. I was
Thanks
the first,
to Nisa King for introducing us.
Actually, I was the first African American woman to win that.
I didn't know that.
Yes, and that year I was able to use New Image as my platform, and I've got a great attention. But this platform is for corporate women who are doing amazing things in their community and want to compete in the pageant-like environment. It's very competitive, but it's very fun, and I'm always telling people I'm all about women empowerment as well. So if you're looking for that next thing, then definitely reach out to MissCorporateAmerica.com. They have the upcoming pageant. I think it's April 7th. And if I could leave any words with anybody, I leave this all the time, so this is nothing new to the ones who know me. But we're constantly waiting for something big to happen, or we're waiting for us to make a certain amount of money, or our bank account to look a certain way, or we're waiting for our kids to grow up, or for things to be perfect before we actually do something for us, or we do something big. But guess what? The time is never just right. I tell people all the time, I use the quote from Napoleon Hill, start with whatever tools that you have at your hand right now, and as you go along, the right tools and better tools will find you. And that's what I've done with New Image Youth Center. I just started with one game of Monopoly and a molded infested building, and from that we've been able to build 13 years strong, 100 students a year, 22 high school graduates, 11 who are in college, 5 seniors this year, 2 college graduates, one who graduated from Morehouse College in 2015, and now he's a PhD student in Auburn University. And it started because I had a little bit, and I began to use that little bit, and guess what? The resources, the people, and the things began to find me. So please be encouraged. Now's the time. Don't even wait until the first of the year. Today.
Be present. You can't wait for when.
That's true.
When I have this, when this happens, when I get my promotion, when my kids are older. That is the worst thing you could possibly do, and that's what Shanta is saying. Yeah. You are a joy. Oh my gosh, it was so awesome to have you on the show.
To be here.
Oh, I love that energy, the energy and the light. You can feel it, it's palpable. We'll post everything. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for all the comments. Shanta and I will go back through and make sure we comment back to you. Thank you so much for all you do for the community. You're amazing. We love you guys. We will see you tomorrow. I've got 2 shows tomorrow. I'm excited. But today was a big number. 75 is big. I feel like I just did 50.
Yes.
So thank you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for
We love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Post later.